I'm gonna go like this 365
days a year.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Who are you? What's your name?
Hold on, because something stinks. I don't know.
Oh, that's my grape.
No, it's not me. That's all I'm gonna say.
I got Versace on. Shoot.
Hello. It's me.
Who is you?
Invictus me. Nisha. What up?
What's up, y'all? It is Bonnet Black. And
what are you eating? What are you eating?
Grape Starburst. It is bomb. Look, y'all. This is another person. Their name is Starburst. They'll be talking a little bit later.
Y'all gonna wish we never did this video because I already do. I already wish we never did none of this.
I can't be looking at myself.
I have a lot of that stinks. That grape one.
That's what you smell like?
Yeah, because you know my nose don't really work since I burned my nose hairs on that joint. So when I smell like grape,
that's the story we need to hear. I don't want to hear about the grape no more. Tell me about that.
Okay,
you break your nose hair.
I didn't break it. I burned it.
Oh,
how you break a nose hair? I burnt. Okay, so last summer, this has been going on for a while. This is just real quick. Hello, welcome to Tense Gates. But real quick, last summer I burnt my nose hairs because I was trying to light this joint and like I just burnt both sides of my nose hairs really, really bad and I stopped being able to smell for like, well, till now, basically.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I can smell-ish,
right.
So it comes and goes. But to me, all citrus things now taste like onion to me, like because it messed up, it just fucked me up. And then like grape smells just smell like armpits. So I'm smelling this smell out your mouth that smell like stank ass armpit.
Let me get a strawberry. Let me get a pink.
What kind is this? See,
that's all bad. I didn't know when you burnt your hair.
It threw me off because I used to be a good taster of things, but now my nose is off duty. So
we're gonna have to find an antidote.
Anyway, tension. Are we? What's up? What are we doing?
Yeah. So, today we got a lot to talk about. We're even talking about public display of affection.
Ooh, don't even touch me.
Cause I ain't ready.
Don't touch me.
I don't like none of it.
I'm explaining. I actually love it. We're gonna talk about that.
Right. And also, what's sacred to Black folks, and specifically Black and queer folks.
I think the public displays of affection piece is... I want to hear so much about what you got to say about that. Because you are always so like, I don't like it. And that's all good. But like, I just need to know where the passion about it comes from. Like, just break it down. Let me know.
So I don't know why, but for some reason, public display of affection is like uncomfortable to me. And I feel like I think some of it can come from like just being on the down low and like not feeling like you can touch people that you're attracted to, so touch other guys. And like my dad was never really touchy with me either, and so it's always awkward for us to give each other hugs. He was more of like a dap type of guy. So when I go for a hug, he's like, give me dap instead. So I don't know, like maybe it stems from that, but I don't know. It's just, it's uncomfortable for me. Like I don't really like a lot of like touch at all. But I mean, in the bedroom, that's different.
What are we talking about PDA? Why you always... We talking about PDA.
Oh, PDA, not
public.
Private. Oh. Okay, I see. This is public display. Oh, my bad, y'all. No. But I don't know. Yeah, it's something that I'm just not. It takes me a lot. Like it takes me a long time to get comfortable, and I go in and out of it. Like sometimes I'm in it, and like it's all nice and lovey-dovey. And other times I'm like, don't touch me. So I don't know. What about you though? How do you feel about display of affection? Well,
like the idea of it, I think is great, right? And but I feel like just it is so circumstantial how like if I can enjoy it or not, just because like I'm Black and gay, and we in Pacific Northwest, and so showing public displays of affection in places like downtown Seattle, where like it's all white, and like if it's midday, you know, all those white people be like down there going to those plays and stuff during the middle of the day. And, like I've been down there and like holding hands with somebody and experience how people react to that. And so like in that moment, I was feeling really good and like wanted to hold this girl's hand, but the people around me made me feel like, well, maybe I'm not safe to do that, you know?
Right.
So sometimes I find myself like it rubs off, like how I feel people viewing me, it rubs off and I'll shy away from it because I don't want to be viewed the stupid ass way, right? So I do want to like, I want to try to push that. So I want to push my discomfort a little bit and just be like, fuck how you feel. Like, fuck how you feel because I really want to hold this girl's hand or I want to kiss her or I want to whatever. So I feel a lot of ways about it, but I'm trying to be more adamant about taking the space that I want for like my Black love when I want to have that space for my Black love. So yeah.
I think that's awesome that you want to like challenge yourself, because most people be like, I just don't want to even try. Like, let me not do it at all.
Yeah.
I'm always really shocked at how, not always, but I have been really shocked about how people react to women, gay women that touch, because like, you know, when I go to the club and like dance and do all that thing, we, like, me and my boyfriend really don't get any type of stares, and a lot of times we'll get like, you know, we went to a place in Portland. It was like a Hispanic thing, and like we were just getting like smiles and, oh, you guys are so cute. And I realized,
see, like, I have feelings about that too. Right, like cute,
right.
We grown ass men.
Right.
Okay,
right.
but go ahead.
But I just realized, like, talking with you, like I just didn't know that it's so different. And I think a lot of my privilege is obviously being a man and maybe being big too. Like maybe people are afraid in a way to like say anything or look a certain way. But yeah, I didn't realize that privilege until I talked to you about it, because I didn't know, and it's so surprising at first, you know.
Yeah, and I think PDA definitely is different when it was different when I was dating a Black woman and versus when I was dating a white woman, because I think that the accepted look of gayness is white, right? The accepted is like two white girls, oh my God, right? And it's like, I don't know their experience. I haven't lived it, but I'm talking about like just from the outside and seeing it. And so when I am dating a Black woman, I think that the anomaly itself for people is just like, out here is that two Black people are in a space because it's all white. But back home or on the East Coast or in the Midwest, the idea is that, you know, y'all supposed to be gay. Like, you shouldn't even be doing that. Then when I was with a white woman, I found people were like worried about her. Like they would like look with these like this concern, like, or like ask her like, how do you know her? What? And be like looking for ways to like save her or help or something, and be genuinely confused. And to me, that says like the lens of white, like white folks were confused as to why a white person could like be nice to a Black person or love a Black person or whatever, or show PDA or want to like put her arm around me or whatever. But then that they aren't as like, you know, accepting of gay stuff here as people say. Everybody says like, oh, it's so progressive, it's so progressive. It's like, yeah, if it's two white folks being gay, two white men being gay up in Capitol Hill, that's their zone. That's their whole area. Yeah, so it was different. And I also know that like being, like you talk about being bigger and like being a taller woman and what people say is more masculine, when it looks different in public when I do this to a woman versus when a woman does that to me. You know, because like, because if you perceive me to be hard, someone putting their arm around me softens how I look to you, right? And like a white person doing that and putting their arm around me in this all white space is a statement. It's, whoa, what? And me doing that is also a statement. What the fuck did she do? Why she got her arm on it? You know? So yeah, just, and now taking a step back from that, because I'm not in a relationship with anybody, and like, you know, just talking to people and like being attracted to folks and thinking like what I'm gonna do when I'm in these positions. I don't know. I just rambled a whole lot. I'm sorry.
No, I'm listening.
That's what y'all wanted. You wanted the video, so that's fine.
No, I relate a lot to that because my boyfriend is shorter than me and more smaller, and you know, a lot of my oppression, I say, is more internal because I don't get a lot of like energy from other people a lot, but I'm mostly like putting myself through all these thoughts like, oh, don't do this or like don't do that. Right. And I do get that feeling like if he put his arm around me, people are gonna be like, oh, like is he not like the dominant one in the relationship?
Right.
Or
and I love that.
Let's downplay me.
Let's turn it on his head. Because why do you gotta why are you even expecting a thing? Like, why are you wandering so far into my relationship when I'm a stranger to you? That shit is weird to me. Because I see straight folks holding hands like, okay, I don't care who gets bent over, who hot. I don't want to know. I don't care. Please don't even share that with me. Because I don't want to know your business. So how they can wander so far, just blows my mind.
Yeah. I'm trying to work on like getting rid of those thoughts and like trying to be more just sure of myself to be able to do those things. A lot of times I'm just like, oh, I don't feel comfortable, or even like nicknames. I think about like my boyfriend calls me baby girl, and it's always something that like I just like got into and like I enjoy. I love but like in public, I'm just like, I don't know, and it's just it's mostly from how I think other people would react or feel like. So yeah, it's hard to get out of that mindset of like, you know, don't worry about if someone sees you as less than a man or less than just whatever. It's hard to like get out of that mindset.
Yeah, that makes me think so hard about that song that we did about where you're like, I ain't a man because I'm walking through chihuahuas. Because it's just crazy how quick something like someone hearing you being called a nickname or like seeing you walking your dogs or whatever is like immediately you gotta wonder about my masculinity or my manness. Like,
I also wonder about like with family. Like, that's something that I've never really done, and I feel like it's more of like a respect of just being with family members. But then obviously when you're queer, it's like the thoughts of it turn into something different. Like, oh, I shouldn't do this because I don't want to like disrespect someone if they're like not into.
And it's like, why do we even gotta think that way?
Why do we have to? You tell this all the time. Why do we have to ease their pain when we're going through it?
Yeah, like I hope this person is okay that I love another human. And I hope they're okay seeing me hug them. What, man? It bothers me, and because I know we do it. I know I do it. I know all the time. And at this point, I'm not even like around my family who has issues with who I am and how I live my life, my lifestyle. I'm not even around them, and I still think about that. Like, just I'm thinking about right now. Like one of my aunts who. And she's hella cool, and she loves me and knows about me and all that shit. And she's never been to my house. Like, I just moved out here, moved into this spot, and she is coming over in like 20 minutes, you know. And I'm thinking like, what elements about my house are gonna seem gay to her? And I'm just wondering because I know that you love me and accept me, and I know that I'm probably the exception, you know, because like I hear how we talk about gay things in our family. Like I hear how those things are conversed around. So I know that I'm an exception. But like I love you, Misha, and I love you, my niece, and then I love her and I appreciate that. And still, as a gay person who lives my life, I always wonder how is this straight person perceiving what I'm doing in the same way that I'm like, how are these white people, you know, like having those fucking layers of it and the intersectionality just makes it a constant mind fuck of how are these people perceiving me, and that's so hard to have to constantly have an answer. Constantly, they're perceiving me like this. Well, they're wrong, or that's right, or I want them to see me this way or that way. Let me change it. Let me adjust. Let me.
Yeah, I feel like it's so hard too, and you don't have the space to talk to other people about it, and that's like what I feel like we're trying to do is like create that space of where people can feel free to just talk about all these things. Because when you go so long, just feeling it, and just pushing it down. That's when people be snapping. Yeah.
Because I'm on the snap.
Right.
At any moment. Right now.
Right.
I'm done. It's good. It passed. And now I feel so much better. Thank y'all. I'm always trying to end it early. And then we'll see it. No, just and we'll see you.
I wanted to say one more thing, too, that you brought up. Because I feel like that was a really good point. When people say that, like, oh, you guys are so cute. And I think turning people into a spectacle. And I was so...
And why do gay men gotta be cute? I'm like, that's so... Oh my God. Like, why you gotta... What? You better spread your body out and talk about me like you talk about this nigga and his girlfriend.
Right. Or they're gonna be like puppies or like... They be like this, like, you know...
Some exhibit or some shit. I'm confuzzled.
It moved me when I watched this show. We shouted it out a couple episodes ago.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Random Acts of Flyness.
Yes.
And they were showing... this trans person who said that when someone is like complimenting them and like being like, wow, like I love how you look, that can be just as like the same feeling comes from when someone's like dogging them, like saying like, oh, why are you dressed like that, or why you look like that. And the story was like she was I think she goes by, she was walking down the street and this person just runs up like across the street like, oh my God, like you look so good, like I mean I just want to like praise you for this, and she said like, that is so, like, not what I want, and just how it's the same feeling when someone would have bullied her. And it just made me think about the ways that you accept other people's energy and not really think critically about how it can be oppressive in a way.
Yeah, definitely. You just package and bold that bitch.
It just makes me think more about, like, going to places and allowing people to be like, oh, you guys are like this and that, and really trying to like take it in versus maybe a different situation where someone isn't like that but talking differently about it, and just how can I measure different interactions with people differently and like understand it more.
And I feel like because I think what hasn't happened to me as much as like, oh, you guys are cute, but like when like women who are straight are talking to me about my relationship, they're like, oh, you know, or if I'm in a relationship, they do this whole all thing. Like, that's so sweet, but I can still tell that it's not a viable relationship to them. It's just like girls who fuck. Like, y'all are just friends.
Right.
And so, like, the people who do that all thing, or y'all are so cute. I wonder if what they would say or how they respond if you said, you know what's so crazy? Everybody always says that to me. What's cute about us?
Right.
Or like, what do you mean?
Like,
oh, thank you. What you mean by that? And like, just ask them, like, just turn it real quick.
Right.
I wonder how people will respond, like what they would say, because like, what is cute? What do you mean? Like, what's cute?
Right.
And I've also started doing that back to straight folks too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that's so. Oh, you wash his clothes. You wash his clothes for him. That is so sweet that you guys sort of do those like roles.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh, I love that. I love that you guys like really dig into that like masculine, feminine. Like, it's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're probably gonna get married or something. Have a ring. It's legal. Knock yourselves out. I really think for our next segment about what is it about again? I forgot. Hold on. I was ready.
What's sacred?
Yes, what is
Black
sacred
and
to
brown
black
queer
and brown queer folks? I think that we should pull in some guests for our first video episode, y'all. We really kind of wanted to go all out a little bit, and have some guests to talk about this, because while we're great, there's a lot of tense gays around. There's a lot of tension and a whole lot of gay shit. We got two possibly tense gays in the house who are gonna hop on the show with us today.
Yes, we're super excited to have them, and it's about to be a good episode.
Yeah, we got Nikita Jones. I don't know if I was supposed to say her first and last name, but I feel like she goes by first and last name. That's like her before, Nikita Jones. Out here in Seattle, all the way from Ohio. She's a performance artist. She can tell us a little bit more about that. We got Derek High, D High. And he is from Ohio too, but here from Mississippi. So we got some people who flew a long way to talk their shit to y'all. So let's just bring them on. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
How you doing? We got a 4 for 4.
What's up, y'all? Don't you look so good?
Hi. First of all, aren't black people beautiful? Let me just have a moment. I know you're watching this right now. Just look at us.
Yes.
Okay.
Work.
There we go. So I really thought that would be bomb to have y'all on this, because we both thought so, because y'all are amazing, and kind of just wanted to hear your gay ass perspectives on what we're talking about on here. We talk about tension a lot, and today specifically we want to just talk about like the things that we find that white folks are able to have sacred in this world, which is like space and air, right? And like freeness and everything and privilege. Like, what things can we hold as sacred, or like as special spaces and things and moments and all of that for being black and brown queer folks. So just like anything that y'all got about that. And I know, Chino, you had some shit you want to say about that too.
Ooh, I just wanted to ask the question and then see what came out. No, let me think. What can I say?
Turn it off. I'm confused. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. So the reason why I was thinking about this question too is just because I wasn't really sure. Like, I was trying to figure out like what are some of the things that I do that feels sacred to like my blackness, and like I'm just really not sure yet. I mean, I think about like food, definitely, like the food that I make and that like me and my mom make and my grandma.
Yeah.
I think like that's really sacred to us and just black culture. And then dancing. I don't know why just dancing comes up to me. I'm just always like, when I dance, I feel like when I dance with other black people, it always feels like that's a very sacred thing. That like there's like connection there, and like when you're like by yourself dancing to your like to black music, it doesn't feel the same. So something about that feels really sacred to me.
You're right. Because I mean, no matter how many dance classes somebody white takes, or how many times that somebody goes to so many different clubs or whatever, they don't have that spirit in them when it comes to dance, or I mean, really anything. So yeah, you can like twerk your butt a little bit, Becky. That's cute or whatever. But like you're not on our level.
It's like speaking a language. Like when you're a native speaker of a language, it's always going to be different than like learning it as a second language. And like dance is that mode of expression. It goes beyond just what our words can express to like a whole nother level. So
there's been like, and just think about you saying dance, a form of something that's sacred that I think is like the look between black folks. Y'all know when you're like there are so many. Okay, that is like the thing. Let's just give the look. watching, cause you know when some white fuckery is going on, right? That's a look. That's a look of like, oh, the food. Oh, somebody came.
Right. You should give it.
Somebody's meal ain't gonna be good, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna call the look and y'all get it. Okay, I'm gonna call the look. So you just got to the cookout and you thought the food was gonna slap, but somebody can't really cook that good. Okay, it's shocking. So we in the space and somebody said come to the party. We went to the party. We surprised we the only niggas there, but it's hip hop music playing. I'm feeling very triggered.
Right. I'll be ready to swear.
I'll be ready to like are you playing this? You gonna be playing because you saw me walk in? Right. Kill the DJ.
All right. That's what right now. Like, what's happening?
Oh shoot! Black man just walked in. Hey.
We're gonna play the wobble. Can you show us about your dancing? Come on and dance. Bitch, get the. No, but definitely the look is a thing. When you, I don't know if this happens in Seattle or anything like that, but I know back home in the Midwest, when I'm in a space and it's all white people, when I see a black person, we definitely give that nod. We say hello.
Oh, that's not out here.
We, it's somewhere. It's like,
I'm missing. Oh, can y'all bring me back some? I'm missing the nod.
That's a sacred thing to me because it's like you see somebody that looks like you, and y'all just be like, ugh.
At least we got each other.
Yes,
that's like I've been looking. Can you please tell me where it's at out here? Because I'm looking.
I don't see it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I went to like an all-white school, so I stuck together with my black friends. But like when you go out into public spaces, it doesn't always feel like that. It kind of feels like we're afraid to like look at each other. I don't know why, but it happens. Yeah, unfortunately, it just you get to just walk right past each other.
Let's bring that back.
Bring
back the nod.
Start doing it.
Bring back that's sacred. That's we name it. Name it and claim it. The nod and the looks.
And like you said, just a greeting. I mean, just to say hello. How's your day? Or like, hope your day's going good. That's so important. I feel like.
Yeah. You know what it kind of feels like to me? It's like counter microaggressions because we all experience these microaggressions in these spaces all the times, and we don't necessarily get to speak about them.
Right.
So to even just counteract that with like, here's a non-aggressive act that I'm validating your experience. Just as I see you as a person.
Right.
And like it really helps like counterbalance that. So it's not like explicitly something in terms of like saying something, but at the same time it's just like, hey, what's up? Like hey, just what's up? Simple. Really simple.
And sometimes you don't even say a thing. You just
and that like all right. You feel all right.
You feel like you just got a hug.
Yeah.
Remember the other day at Dollar Tree what that man said to you? We were like walking down the aisle and there was like another black dude coming our way and like, I was a little bit more feminine, so I'm used to like not getting the nod, more like, how you doing? Hey sister. Hey little sister.
Right.
Unless I'm like, hey, I'm more masculine and they like, right, hey queen. And I'm masculine like, what up dog, what up nigga? So I was like more feminine, so I'm like, in my head I'm like, he's gonna greet Chino. And he did. What did he say to you?
He was something like, what's up, pimp?
Yeah.
This was a lot. And
you right. You know Chino be over there like,
hey. And then me want to be over there talking about, oh yeah, you got that booty. Like that's what he was saying afterwards. I was like, no, I hope he's not saying that.
What up, pimp? Let me get a little piece of that.
Right. It was just a lot.
What up, pimp? Trying to check your lip.
I said pimp.
Right.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. That was funny.
It makes me think a lot about what you told me. Like if I went to like other places, like Philadelphia, for example, and just feeling like how black people are and are able to just shout out our black queer people. He's be like, "Oh, you're looking good today."
Yeah,
that's something that doesn't really happen
that.
out here, And even with like the black queer people, there's not a lot of like reaffirming. I think, but I don't really be in a lot of places anyway.
Because I told you, you back home somewhere to where like the clubs on the East Coast back. Dudes like black men would be coming up to you.
They would
be like, "Oh, you," and it's like that doesn't happen out here. You can't at all. Like I'm not. Women don't come, and not that they need to, but like it's just different. And I know that because we've been out in places and people like they can see you. It might be like, I just want to tell you looking good. Like no disrespect to you. I see you and your girlfriend. I see you and your boyfriend. Like they would just say like, I just had to tell y'all both looking fine as fuck. Have a good night. And be like, okay.
Right.
Like, thank you. Right. And then you go home like, I couldn't have had that. And I'm just that's true. Yeah, I think we can claim those things. The nod, the look. Let's add it. Let's throw it back. Bring the nod back, Seattle 2019.
Bring it back. Y'all need it.
I need it because I'm cold. It's frozen. Hey, Kim.
Hey. So I'm curious, what did you guys think about the public display of affection? Like, what do you guys got to say about that?
So a lot of what you both were saying was ringing true with me, and I feel like it's a multidimensional experience where, on the one hand, I just want to hold this person's hand because I feel very affectionate towards them. This is a wonderful moment. There's a beautiful sunset. Like I really want to like soak in this moment. And then as soon as I do, it's like my mind just starts buzzing with like, oh, what are people thinking about this right now? Like, well, are they together? Like, are they actually going to do all of that? And I feel like a lot of that goes back to what you were saying, where it's sort of like internalized in me at a young age. Like before I came out, before I didn't want to make any of my male classmates feel uncomfortable because they. Like, you know, like, I feel like in a lot of straight guys' heads, there's that, like, oh, he's only trying to come on to me, or he's going to try to come on to me. So I was, like, always trying to, like, counteract that with, like, okay, I'm not going to go that distance. And over time, that just became, like, a mode of habit to, like, downplay those sort of, like, inclinations and everything. So, like, it's this really strong cognitive dissonance where I just want to appreciate this moment, but then there are all of these other layers on top of it that are sort of, like, distracting me and pulling me away from it at the same time. So, like, if it's, I guess it's like, if I'm in a park and there's just, like, me and the person that I'm hanging out with, and there's, like, maybe one other person walking by, I feel like that's a very manageable level for me.
Right.
Whereas, like, if it's just, like, a crowded, like, bazaar, and we're, like, right in the middle of it or something, it's like, it can be a bit much at times. So, and it's always, like, figuring out, like, what am I comfortable with right now?
And I hate that straight people will be all up in every one of them spaces. Not even having a second to think. Not even taking a second to think.
I saw a couple walking down the street the other day, just holding hands and like talking about like, I don't know, some shop they were walking past, and I was like, that is so like foreign to me. Like,
I mean, you'll see straight couples making out, damn near about to fuck, like.
And I feel like they're just putting their lifestyle. They're really trying to influence young people, and I think it's too much. Yeah, it's too much. What about my child to see that?
Children?
Yeah. I don't want my daughter to think she has to be with a man. The horrors.
Right.
Huh. Yeah.
It makes me think about high school too.
He was like, go ahead, Sheila.
I was just thinking about like in high school for me, I always was so sad that I could see other people dating and like trying all these new things, and like it wasn't until like 5 years later that like I was really like experiencing like that kind of moment of like first kiss and like first this and first that. I did stuff, but like it didn't feel like, you know, what other people were experiencing, like all my peers, like, and even just dance, thinking about like asking the girl, like, what if I wanted to get asked out? Like, what if I wanted to have like, and somebody did ask me out. I'll shout out to them, my best friend. But like, still, you know, like, what if I wanted like a guy to ask me out, like bring me flowers? Like, I just think about how that was for other queer people, like when they were in high school. What was that like for you guys? I'm curious.
Man,
I feel like I'm gonna let you go into this, but just like a quick little snippet. I feel like mine was just like delayed. Like what you would normally do when you're like at 14 or like 16, I did it like 20, 21 because it took me that long to like actually get out the door and into that stage to where I could try to do those types of things. So like, you can go ahead with what you
I was gonna say in high school I was straight. But behind closed doors, I was messing around with them women's, okay?
Because I do have some proof of it.
Okay. But no, in high school, I was very secretive. I was very ashamed that I did like women, that I messed around with women, all of that. It wasn't until after high school that I even started to accept that part of me as something more serious than just hooking up with girls. Like, where I was just like, well, maybe I could see myself actually dating a woman and being public about dating her, which was scary as hell. And, yeah, I mean, at the time, I was like, that person's worth it, and I'm just going to go through it. And it was hard as fuck. It was hard as hell dealing with all that shit. Like, people not being accepting of me, of us. You know, like, all this shit. Oh, here's some tea. We used to date.
Yeah, we used to date.
Like,
back in the day. What, like 4 years ago?
Yeah,
4 years ago.
We dated for...
We dated for 8 years?
Yeah, 8 years.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
That's some hot scolding tea. But for real, find you somebody who you can still be friends with and respect after. Because y'all be on that messy shit. And because I don't know I can talk about it.
Honey.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, because I go in.
But back to the PDA thing. When we were together, we were young. Like,
it don't make me feel old.
We were younger than we are now. So we grew up together. Yeah. We were like, you know, we dated in our adulthood, our young adulthood. So it was just like dealing with my first relationship with a woman and being out with her in places. At times I didn't want to do stuff because I was worried about what people would think, how they would look at us. Back then, we were two femmes, if you want to put that on the thing. So sometimes it was either like people would look confused, they would look disgusted, and then men would look like turned on, like they wanted to be a part of it. So it was like all these different things where it's like, oh shit, what? So y'all want to ask somebody else, or like, oh y'all just need some dick in your life. Like no, like it's just like so much that goes to that. But yeah, I mean, I've been with men, and I'm like since Misha, I've been with men and everything, and like when I'm with a guy, I feel like I am more okay with showing PDA, and a part of me feels guilty because like I know that when I'm with a woman, I feel insecure and I feel like everyone's watching me and I feel this certain way. Whereas when I'm with a man, I'm like like I can finally like just be accepted, or I can finally feel like I'm a part of something. And it's that's just,
and the more I hear you talk about it, I feel like it's a matter of visibility, right? It's almost like when you're in that like heteronormative relationship, you're one of like billions. You're just like another person on the street. And so when you're talking about the phrase PDA, it's a public display of affection. Like it's a display of affection in public. Whereas like if it's any sort of homosexual interaction, like then it becomes a public display asterisk of affection. Like, it's almost like on that this in public, and you somehow are a spectacle because 9 times out of 10 there's not going to be anything like that going on anywhere around
especially
you.
Especially
like 5 heterosexual couples like going at it, doing whatever, but then there's you, like you are somehow like a novelty here. So everyone has to have some sort of an opinion about that, and it's just that it's just the way that phrase shifts. Like I'm displaying affection, but I'm like making a public display about it. It's just it becomes like it's almost like I'm somehow being given this voice to like say this thing and like no, I'm not saying anything.
I'm just trying to be my boo. I'm just trying to cuddle up a little bit, hold a little hand, little peck on the cheek, nothing crazy. I ain't trying to fuck him right now. I'm just trying to chill.
I'm trying to get a little
cuddle water.
I
feel like you should just do our outro where we talk about some things that you're doing to relieve that tension.
Right. So we're all busy people, right? We have things that we're doing. We have things that we want to do. We're thinking about what we're going to do like 2 weeks from now, and also the things we did 2 hours ago. Like we're critiquing and like building and like reiterating, and it's really important to just take that time to like sort of like just put everything on pause, right? Just sort of like, just get in touch with your body.
Tell them, dude.
Just get in touch with your body. Like, just take a moment. Like, feel your feet against the floor. Feel the weight of your body in this chair. Like, just like, take a deep breath in. It doesn't even have to be that deep. Just feel the breath going in through your nostrils and out through your nostrils. You ever notice how cold that air is sometimes? You just feel it. Like, just being in touch with your body and just taking a moment to, like, be present. You are present in this moment. This is a precious moment. This moment happens once, and you are here, and you are a part of it. Not only that, we are all a part of it. Everything in this room, everything outside of this room. You are here. This is now. Everywhere you go, there you are. So it's nice to just take a moment and reflect on that, and just be within it.
Y'all.
Yes.
Check my man's out. We're about to move him out here. Bonnet Black Collective will be moving our guests out to permanently deliver.
Y'all, can we still?
Right. So do all of that. Right?
Yes.
Do all of that.
That is wonderful.
It keeps you in touch. Keeps you in touch in here and out there, and just ties it all together.
Hell yeah.
And in a way, I've been doing something like what you were talking about, Derek. I've been for the past like week when I was at home after a long day of work and people getting on my damn nerves. I try to immediately go to my room and light a candle or two, incense, and just sit there and just smell, the fragrance of the candle and just be there and take a time to breathe and reflect and push all of the negativity from the day out of me.
Right. Yeah.
It's like my little reset button where I'm just like, okay.
It's like do all day long, and then you just be.
I play some music, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna get up when I feel like it, and I'm gonna go on to the next portion of my day. So So.
Nice. I love
Feel
that.
Yes.
Aroma, like therapy can do so good. So,
Yes.
yeah. What are some of your favorite like smells to use or candles?
Fresh linen.
Fresh
One of
Black
my
cherry.
favorites.
I love black cherry.
Yeah.
That's my
Okay.
name. Makes sense for Halloween.
And I got this soy candle from this lady that I know locally, and it smells like, I don't know, it's something sweet. It's like this cupcake type thing.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, oh, it smells so good. But
Nice.
I'm into the incense. I just got one called Money, so I'm waiting till I'm real broke and I'm gonna light that.
yes.
I'm gonna light it and just rub my pockets.
Open your Cash App, do all of that.
Right. Just leave it all, just float. Like open my wallet on the table to my phone and be like, money.
It's like Cardi B's money.
Okay.
Money.
I need that money.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all so much.
Thank you for having us. This was so much fun.
nice.
So affirming and like uplifting. I love
Yeah,
this.
I haven't done this video podcast shit in a minute.
Yeah.
So
This is
I'm
probably like my
excited.
first time doing it. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty much in love with
It's
this.
definitely my first time doing it.
Ain't my first time.
Oh,
Okay,
my.
Miss Bang over here.
We won't be putting her social media below. We don't follow her. It's a trap. I got free 4 years ago. I'm just... Okay. Oh, for real?
I'm giving y'all the look. Okay, that's it.